Robin?
Hi, Helen.
Hi.
I need some help. So, since I got in touch with your teachings, I've been questioning my deep set beliefs. And a lot of these beliefs are easy to shift. They are connected to my childhood, what happened with my mother, and so on. So, not so difficult to shift. But I have some spiritual beliefs which are sort of like they're almost deep wired, like I've had them for lifetimes, and I'm not able to shift them even when I inquire into them. So one of the core ones that I have is that I cannot attain full awakening in this lifetime by myself. And I realize that this belief is related to why I've always followed the path of surrender. So the one of the questions that you answered earlier about last thought of death, that's my question basically, which is related to this. So I sort of connected to, yeah, I can't do it basically. So in one sense, it's not so terrible. So, the awakening I had after the intensive in the Satsang with Ron, I asked him, why did this happen? Because I didn't really do anything. And he said it was a combination of Helen's energy and you in a state of surrender. So yeah, surrender seems to be my thing, but it seems to be based upon this belief, which I can't do it. I can't awaken by myself, which I don't think is a very positive attitude, particularly in regards to your teaching, what we're trying to do now. So, but I can't shift this. So this is why I'm asking for help from you.
Okay, so I want to approach this with a very different approach that you might not think is helpful at first, but if you'll bear with me, I'm going to ask you a question that may seem very strange, and I really want you to just kind of take it in and see what happens. I want to ask you, why are you so sure that you're not already fully awakened? What evidence can you give me? Why are you so convinced that you're not already there?
Because I've done some bad things.
Mm-hmm. Anything else?
Um,
And if not, that's fine. I'm just double checking.
Well, it just reminds me of something yesterday. Since the awakening which I had, I experienced a feeling of very deep peace and stillness, which was continuous for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up on Friday morning, closed my eyes, and it wasn't there anymore. And yesterday I was feeling like I don't feel angry, I don't feel jealous, I don't feel unhappy. I just don't really feel anything. But I'm not I'm not experiencing bliss, I'm not experiencing peace, I'm not experiencing love, I'm just not experiencing anything negative.
Yes.
So
kind of in this neutral thing.
Yeah, I'm not fully enlightened because I'm not in a state of peace. I'm not in a state of peace all the time.
What if then, let me flip that on its head. What if I'm not feeling peace or bliss or love or whatever because, this is lesson 2, so I'm going to flip it on its head. What if I'm not feeling those things because I believe I'm not fully enlightened? Mine says the other way around. Mine says, I'll know when I'm fully awakened because I'll be feeling these things all the time. But peace, all of that is dependent upon the absence of believing thoughts. And actually, if you take a real good hard look at this question, can you use the presence or absence of feelings, even peace, even love, even bliss rather, can you use the presence or absence of any experience, anything that's happening in your life, anything that's happening in your body, in your emotions, in your thoughts, as evidence of how awakened you are? So any actions, any emotions, any experiences, good, bad, or ugly, can they be reliable evidence for how awakened you are? Given that those things will be happening depending on what thoughts you're believing. So mine says, when this thing stops happening, I'll know I'm awakened. Or when this thing keeps happening, constant peace, effortless love and joy and all of that, then I'll know I'm awakened. But it's the very idea that I'm not awakened that's disturbing my mind and my emotions and my experience and my body and showing up as the absence of peace. So I could go into another way, but for me, the most direct way, and I'm assuming you want the most direct way, is to really look at what evidence you can take would be acceptable, reliable evidence as to how awakened you are. Okay. And when I looked at this, I came to the conclusion that I couldn't use any emotions, any experience, any thoughts, any actions, anything at all, in fact, in the phenomenal universe, as an evidence that's reliable to me of how I'm doing in my awakening, because those things come and go, and we're actually looking at what's eternal about us. So even peace at nighttime in deep sleep is gone, isn't it? Even joy, even deep bliss. So the only thing that's here all the time is your essential nature. And you have seen that. You have seen that. That for me is the most important thing. Have you recognized what you are? In fact, that's the only important thing. Whatever's going on in the phenomenality, your mind, your body, your emotions is going to fluctuate. And the peace that you've found may seem to diminish temporarily while the next belief comes up for you to see through and go deeper. And here is the next belief, so that you can go even deeper into peace. This belief that's coming up right now is, I am not fully awakened. I've lost the awakening that I had in the intensive. Can you see that idea? It's gone.
Yeah, I'm getting it. It's sort of I'm sort of grasping what you're saying. There's something happening, but at the same time, it's like hard to grasp. It's like my mind doesn't want to grasp it,
because
and
the
I'm just
mind is
hold on to it.
Yeah, mind is always looking for evidence of how you're doing in your awakening. What evidence does it look to whether you're succeeding or failing? It will look to what the content of your emotional state is, what the content of your experience is, how much peace you're feeling. It will list all of these things as indicators. And I'm saying none of those are reliable evidence, because everything that's happening is a reflection of this belief that you're not there yet. So all of that is an outer experience of the inner idea that I'm not where I need to be spiritually. And all that will change the moment you question, well, how do I know for certain? If the phenomenal evidence is a reflection of my belief, do I even really know whether I'm awakened or not? Mind doesn't like this because it wants something to measure it to. It says, well, if I don't measure it against the lack of peace, peace is never going to come back. But actually, the only way peace can stay is when you stop measuring. It'll come, and it'll come so thick and fast, and deep silence, deep stillness, which you experienced. And then the only thing that's happening now is the next idea is now presenting itself to you. You look at what experience you're having. I seem to have lost that peace. Okay, the idea that I'm believing must be that I can lose it, and I have to do something to get it back. Can you see that idea playing?
Yeah, I can see that. I've been
And then
through
when I
that.
can't find what to do to get it back, the harder I try, the more disturbed I feel, because I feel like I'm someone, instead of being that effortless silence, I feel like I'm someone really trying hard to get back to peace. Yeah, it doesn't work, does it?
No. Yeah, I can see I've spent the last 20, 30 years having awakening experiences and then trying to get them back. But most of my awakening experiences, I guess that's partially locked into this belief, have come through contact with an enlightened being, not through my own effort. And
it's never just one of those, though. You could live in the same house as the Buddha and still stubbornly hold on to your thoughts. You could be totally alone in a desert island and be totally in bliss. So it's never just, okay, I had this experience because I was hanging around this awakened being. That is what it seems to be. But then the experience seems to come to an end because, not because you've done something wrong or lost it, but because the next idea that needs to be released so that you can go deeper. When the tide comes in up the beach, it comes up and then it recedes back a little bit. And then when it comes up, it goes up even further and then recedes back a little bit. So this, where it recedes back, mind says you've lost it, you're failing, you're doing something wrong. But this receding back is just the next thought that needs to be let go of. And here is this very subtle but powerful idea that you can lose it. If you are it, can you lose it or gain it? This is the idea that I would suggest really looking at. Can I actually lose it and do something to get it back? This, for me, was the cause of so much suffering, and it took me a while to see through it. But this is the actual root of what's going on. And it's actually very advanced that this is coming up right now for you. And with this idea still inside, you have to keep losing it and then gaining it and then losing it, and on it goes for however long, like you said. So this idea now is showing itself so that you can say, I'm not going to subscribe to that now, because if I am it, gaining, losing, trying, failing, all of that is out the window. I am it. I am that. End of story. I'm not going to listen to mind's idea that I've got to do something to get it back. Because the moment I follow that, I do something, I get it back, but I've got to lose it again. Got to keep experiencing that thought. Does that give you some direction to go with it?
Yeah, it does. Thank you, Helen.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful to talk to you.